I'm Dan Harmon.
I'm Gillian Jacobs.
And I'm Danny Pudi.
And welcome to the shot that took 3 hours to get. That swirling shot took many hours.
Felt like a Las Vegas security camera. How about us? All eyes on the
It's
sky.
great, though. And then the first thing, of course, that happens is people want it out because it's weird.
Yeah.
They're like, it makes me dizzy. Why don't you go talk to the actors who had to do that shot? I think it's a great shot.
I think it was fun because that was Justin Lin's contribution there.
Yes.
So it was a twist to the study room scenes where we normally have the cameras positioned in the same places.
Yeah, you're right. It was a great way to enter the episode.
I think that was when I said that I called Chevy or Pierce, which I thought was very funny.
Oh, we all were afraid he was dead.
Yeah, this is a great moment.
You thought I was dead, didn't you?
I did. Yep. I did, though.
Absent from this DVD is Justin Lin, who, if you've listened to the other commentaries, is emerging as the superstar of season 1, most notably because of the paintball episode. But this is a great episode, too. Justin is not just like awesome for the stuff he does in the paintball episode. He's great with character, great with the actors. The actors love him. He lands comedy. Everything. His timing is. He's a great guy. I wish we could just tie him to a stake in a basement
I know.
and have him.
Get back here, Justin. He's somewhere in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we're getting the Fast and the Furious 4. And the Wolf, what is it? No, Highlander.
Yeah.
Reboot.
Yeah.
We're all pretty upset about his film schedule.
I know. Congratulations, Justin.
Yeah, you're booked for the next 3 years. Yay.
Good for you.
Oh well, we can do it without him.
There's the
We
cootie
can.
catcher.
Cookie catcher?
Is it a cootie catcher? Is that what they're called?
I thought
Yeah.
you said a cookie catcher.
Cookie diet?
So you can hear this. This is the original rap that I think Joe and I sort of accidentally wrote in the edit bay. Just sort of like
Joe
trying
Russo?
Yeah.
That's great.
I think it was in the edit bay. Like somebody said all my boys and all my peeps, and I said like to wear nightcaps when they go to sleep. Like, it's such an adorable thing to say. But anyways, is that KU? Did he do that? I don't know.
Now, Donald learned a much longer dance than what is shown there. He learned, like, I'd say a solid minute of choreography, and that was originally supposed to be on Broadway.
Yeah. I remember we were rehearsing in the stage that was formerly where Rosemary's Baby was shot.
We had a terrific choreographer on this episand who
Yeah, they did Bring It On and a couple other things, right?
and he taught Danny, Donald, and I all of the dances.
And Donald has, I think he's got like 5 years of ballet experience, so this is one of those,
Yeah, he went to an arts high school, I think, where he...
Right.
well, you have some dance experience too, Gillum.
Yeah, this story for Donald's character was an attempt to help grow that character outward so that Donald Glover, who is multi-talented and incredibly funny, wasn't just boxed into this like football player kind of character. Like we wanted to quickly like get that character like bigger, have more dimensions to him and stuff. Or at least for the first season, maybe not more dimensions, maybe just more territory he could be one dimensional in. But second season we'll maybe dimensionalize. This scene, I was there on the set. It was late at night. Jim Rash, who is a machine, a writer's favorite. This line. It was so it was hard for him to land, and by that I mean it took him 3 takes or something, and he was so hard on himself and like apologetic. And Jim Rash is such a like perfectionist. And he's
yeah.
usually so
He's
good.
amazing.
He gets things in one take, and then there was that incredibly long line which almost got cut, but
Well, he also makes it so much fun for us
Yes.
on set because we just sit there and laugh at him.
It's one of those characters where we'll read something in the script and it's kind of funny, but then when Jim Rash does it, it's hilarious.
that actor's name is Twink.
Yes, Twink Kaplan playing Madame Leclerc.
Yeah, she did a rap for us on set that is on the cutting room floor. She is a trooper. Like she showed up to do just like pickup shots, and we had a rap written for her on a napkin that we handed her. And 5 minutes later, she was freestyle rapping on the set. Like,
Why a
and we
napkin?
didn't use it. but it was because it didn't work. Not because she did a bad job, because it wasn't what the episode needed. But it's crazy that's what actors. They're nuts. You can make them do stuff, and they sacrifice their time and energy on the altar of episodes that sometimes have no respect for their humanity. This is a great scene between these two characters, although you don't need me to say that.
I'll say it too. It was fun to see this combo.
Yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed getting to do an episode with Donald because we had never really gotten to work together on the show, and I am in such awe of his talent, and I was really excited to get to be paired with him.
We were trying to pair everybody up in different combinations for the first season. You know, try to, number one, for the first 6, do stories with Jeff bouncing off of each one of you in different combinations, and then like in the meantime also like pairing up the other ones in random combinations, putting you in jars and shaking it.
Lauren Stamile, do we pronounce, is it Stamile or Stamile? Stamile is terrific, lovely, gracious, always wonderful to have her on set. She's a lovely, lovely person.
And this was like the first episode where she really kind of comes into the family, where we have to all really acknowledge their relationship. And this is also a fantasy that I think everybody who went to college wanted to experience.
She is
Not me.
She's sort of designed on some level to be Britta's worst nightmare. I will reveal now.
Ooh, I didn't even know that.
The exchange, they have the PhD, GED thing. It's like, on one hand, Britta thinks that she's running from a sort of powder puff girl, but that's really the thing that you think that you're better than, and then there's this secret fear you have that you don't reveal to anybody but yourself. That, of this woman who's not your mother, who's not a doormat, who is very activated, very smart, a sort of
put together adult.
What do you call her? I can't remember. I'm so out of touch with the tabloids. Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt, and what's the other ones?
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie to your Aniston. You know what I mean?
Oh,
wow. Okay.
It's too competent, too sharp, too callous. Even you pretend to be callous.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't be telling you this stuff. It'll affect you.
Yeah, don't.
By
Stop.
the way, this was one of my favorite jokes. It informed my character so much when I asked her if she likes macaroni or if she cooks macaroni.
And it also became something that we repeated endlessly for the rest of the
This
season.
is where, Shirley really declared her love for pepper jack cheese.
Yeah, you can hear her in the background. That's why I had her say holy macaroni and pepper jack in the finale, just to make my girlfriend laugh, because Erin, my girlfriend, we were watching this episode. You just keep hearing Shirley say pepper jack over and over again in the background. Like, she really likes pepper jack.
Oh, this is where the secret
This
almost
is my
comes out.
mom's favorite shirt, my mom's favorite outfit that I ever wore on the show.
Did she comment on your outfits after every episode?
Hey, Martina.
There's some great Allison Brie moments in this scene. Like, she's playing support, but it's funny. It's like her reaction to you taking tap, and it's like clear. You wouldn't think it, but Annie is clearly part of the guard that's going to make it hard for people to take dance. Like, she has, here, the Baryshnikov. She's got an inexplicable opinion about his masculinity. It's funny.
I love this scene for another reason too. Is we're away from the study table and we're like condensed in this little nook right next to each other in very uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah, and that's something I want to. Sometimes it's hard, like with guest directors come in and they want to try different stuff, and sometimes you have to be the killjoy and say, no, sit them around that table. That's the Cheers bar. That's our show. That's the Star Trek bridge. But then it's like scenes like this, you're so glad that it's not around the study room table, because they're a family and they're having like a family meeting, and there's an irony to it.
We're also in a different order too, because we become so accustomed to, like, I have Joel on my left and Danny on my right to be sitting in different combinations.
Right.
And Pierce is on Twitter.
And Pierce is trying to put his phone into a pocket, which is sewn shut.
I think he pretended it was a razor a couple times too.
I think this scene was written after the fact and inserted into to support the
later.
Story.
Yeah.
I still can't tell if we needed it or not. It's a good scene. I don't think we lost anything for having to put it in, but I know that we had fun with it. Having needed it, we knocked it out of the park. I'm on Corona number 3. for those listening.
Gilly and I are on coffee number 2.
I'm on coffee like number 5.
Bam.
A real man
Uh-oh.
bail on his friends.
I like Britta's look in this episode too. The sort of, I don't know. It's probably a drag for you. Don't they have to make your hair look extra kind of like wavy or something like
Yes,
that? Or
they curl my
Good
hair.
move, Donald.
Matt Dannon curls my hair every morning.
I mean, mission accomplished. We can experiment in season 2.
Really?
with
Is this
you do.
official?
It's not official. No, it's not
Okay.
because it's not just up to me. But I'm just saying, I was the one saying in the beginning of season 1, like, no, make it kind of like wavy and textury because I was scared that your sort of flawless Nordic like good looks would just be sort of like a blank canvas. Like, and when you came in for the audition, you had this sort of like weathered Elizabeth Shue, like young, like like you said, you were sick and you were wearing like a sweatshirt that was hanging off of one shoulder, and your hair was like sort of had this texture to it. I thought I remembered. But
Yeah, that's true. Well, I was so excited because the my sheet for the audition said do not wear makeup, and
Did it? Wow.
oh yeah, it said very specifically not to wear makeup. I showed up. I was the only person out of like 60 girls that was actually not wearing makeup, but I took that in stride. Anytime you tell me
If you know
don't wear
Gillian,
makeup,
that is a gift to her.
yeah, any chance I have to not wear makeup, I will take it. So I was very pumped.
Okay, now this scene, there's this thing on the internet, like people show the YouTube like matchup with this scene and something that was part of some Funny or Die thing that, you see this a lot with like TV. They go like somebody ripped somebody off and they do this thing. I've seen it, just for the record, for anybody who's curious, but I believe me, I'm way too cocky to ever rip anybody off.
First question.
I didn't write the writer's draft of this scene. I know my writers wouldn't rip anybody off either. Like, why would you? It wouldn't make any sense. But if you watch the thing, I recognize the similarities. It's like a sketch. The guy's basically doing the same premise. So basically what it is writers, like, you hear like it's sort of ripped from the minor headlines, like this practice of having to inform people about relationships at work.
Yeah.
Well, writers are going to tend to take certain ironic like circuits, in getting their jokes and stuff. And so there is it's like a sketch that you can see in Funny or Die. There's a guy behind the desk, and then there's 2 people that are informing him, and voila, you can create the effect of going like, look, we got ripped off. Believe me, it bums me out. I'm sure it does bum anybody out when there's like when that kind of thing happens.
Yeah.
But
well,
I swear as a Boy Scout.
Calculus was invented in 2 places at the same time, as was the telephone. So,
This is when
stuff happens.
everyone gets a ranking here. Joel's number 2. Who's number 1? Did we ever discover that?
Well, he
Leonard.
got his ranking in the earlier scene.
That was before.
Commercial break.
I love this scene. I wrote this scene. I took Jim Belushi to the streets in this scene. And nobody ever acknowledges that. That's my favorite thing about the scene, is that they both individually use Jim Belushi as a yardstick of mediocrity. And Jeff comments on it the second time. Boy, that guy's really taking a beating in this conversation. I think it's funny.
Want or need more than what we were doing.
Let's get back to it.
This is Lawrence Demille at her best. I in this writer's opinion, like this show is. We did a lot of different tones in the first season. This scene has the tone of like, I don't know. It's like it could be in. I don't know. I don't want like almost a dramedy kind of.
Yeah.
It's a relationship show. And it's a good conversation. It's got a nice pacing to it, but it's very, very grounded in like there's 2 grown people talking about their relationship.
It barely means anything, and it grows on what's there over time.
Boy, that guy's really taking a pounding in this conversation.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah, that's it, folks. That's my writing I was talking about earlier.
Wheelhouse.
That I liked so much. But she's also, it's like Lawrence Demille at her best, and this character at her best. Like this really represents like she's got him over a barrel because she's so low maintenance that she's wrapped him around his finger.
She does. She's not giving him any of his normal excuses to bail from a relationship.
Yeah. He's used to looking at women like these liabilities, and all of a sudden he's the liability, and it kind of like it sucks him in.
Yeah,
And then the mislead with the door. That's good.
Bam.
It's like she's in charge now.
Okay.
the big shame is that we weren't able to organically play out this relationship because, and it's not her fault, she was awesome, but we did the guest cast thing with McPhee for Family Day,
Yeah.
which required
A breakup.
Slater dump Jeff very quickly. And it was sort of unceremonious, and then that character jumps off the radar. So that's called the dangers of guest casting, which sometimes is a fantastic idea. But as I learned first season, I think you have to be careful about it. You have to keep it away from anything it could possibly affect. I think there's good guest casting, like it's like, you know, Danny DeVito in The Simpsons or Paul McCartney or something, where you have them come in like a stranger, affect the life of one character, and then drift away. You don't just throw them into the pond and let the ripples go all over the place.
All right, we learned these dances over an hour and a half, 3 lunch breaks in 3 different days. So I practiced endlessly.
Did you get to wear the teapot before the actual dance?
No, I tried it on the day we shot this.
By the way,
Annie's reaction.
this was in our cafeteria. They
Oh, yeah.
the set design built this whole stage in our cafeteria in like 2 days.
It's beautiful, I think.
Those are my favorite lines.
Yeah.
Is Pierce being bewildered by this nonsensical.
Did we already talk about goobers?
You know, get them while they're gooby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of
A
my
lot
favorites.
of people's favorite.
Oh, there it is.
I remember going to the edit bay over and over again about this scene and being so scared that none of this was going to play out. The story wasn't going to be told. Like, you really lose touch so quickly. It can be a really scary thing. Like, trying to figure out how to tell a physical story like this. She's transfixed by the hands. She's in a tap loop. He's bailing her out. I don't know to this day. Is it a story? I have no idea.
Girl, there we go.
I just like Donald's breakaway jeans.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a pair of those.
Play something modern.
What are you doing here?
Being a friend and a man.
That was an improv.
Yeah, you
I
said
very,
holy shnikey.
Yeah. I have very few improvs. I try not to.
I had a big debate about that. The edit bay, like I was walking around going like, has it been long enough since Tommy Boy
that you can say
holy
it?
shnikey
I
is
think
not?
you can. I also threw my hat and nailed the piano player in the head on about 4 separate takes. Totally accidentally.
Oh, did you see? Yeah, did you see the shot? Did that play already? Yeah, she cast her hat aside,
Yeah.
and you see there's a completely different pianist, completely different gender pianist,
Yes.
who gets nailed with the hat.
The woman refused to duck. Yeah, I mean, they told her you can avoid the hat, you know, because I had hit her several times in a row. She refused to duck, but was very horrified that I kept hitting her. I was throwing it blind. I just have incredible aim.
Yes, you do, and you warned her. That's all you gotta
And
do.
I'm wearing a unitard on national television, which
And Twink, may your rap rest in peace. Thank you so much for doing it, but we didn't need it.
It takes a lot of hard work, but you could always take a class.
Pass. Thankfully, I really did take tap dancing classes in college, so.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I mean, you look so pathetic. You made
I do look like a girl from a Robert Palmer video. Wearing like more makeup than I'd ever worn up until the Valentine's Day episode where I had. Apparently, I had too much red lipstick on. I think we can say that now.
Is that when you looked like a coin purse?
And my mouth looked like a coin purse.
Yeah.
Where's your date? Didn't she want
I thought this was a really sweet moment. This was one of the first, I think, of the season where it kind of ended on this.
you guys are official
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I guess. You actually had a big part in that. I mean, if I can handle having a
Yeah, and I mean, you don't want to power your show with a will they won't they or a soap opera. And believe me, at Community, we don't sit and like plan years in advance and go like, oh, we're gonna do this thing, because that's not how life works. If there is anything to be enjoyed about like these relationship macro stories, it's their uncontrollability, their unpredictability, their back and forthiness. Who cares and who knows how that's going to turn out? Sorry
Well-
if that's disillusioning for anybody to know that like we sort of play it by ear.
I think the thing about it is that like it's nice to be a girl on a show and not have your sole purpose be in relationship to a guy.
Yeah.
You know, that I'm not completely defined by whether or not I want to be with Jeff or he wants to be with me. You know, that we're a group.
People think that that's a what's her name?
That's Kate Nash.
Lily. They think it's Lily.
Tyler.
I think it's Lily Allen.
Lily
Yeah.
Tyler. It's not Lily Tyler.
Lily Taylor.
It's not Liv Tyler.
Evangeline Lilly?
Some people think I look like Liv
It's
Tyler.
Kate Nash.
Yeah, it was a Kate Nash song. That was one of those that I downloaded right after the episode because I loved it.
This is like a tag that it gets to a point where you're overwhelmed with like, oh, we need 25,000 tags. We're behind schedule and stuff. And this crossword one, I don't know who came up with it, but I was like, I don't know, man. And then they were shooting it anyway. But the thing that really saves it is all these little ad-libby things at the end. I love misleads. I love...
Yeah.
Go team.
Go team.
Thank you.
Thank you, people of
Thanks,
community
guys.
fandom.
Good night, everybody.